quick video on what needs to be modified. So if you're looking at your gauge cluster structure, you see this support here. Start right in the corner, go about 1/4 in depth, cut that line, and then we're gonna hit that with the hammer end just a tad to give us the clearance that we need to make it easier to get pushed in there, because GM made the left side smaller than the right, and mine's is the same pretty much all the way across, so we need that little clearance. Nothing major. Cut it off, come back, mold it, be good. Okay, short video clip on tips and tricks on how to install this Holley EFI gauge cluster to your 69 Camaro. You should not need to modify anything. It should be a direct fit, but being that these cars are never 100% standard across the board, I'm gonna show you a few key points on places where you can get some adjustability on it. Anyways, your retainer is obviously gonna go there. I provide 1/4 inch 20 with the weld nuts. These 1/4 inch 20 bolts go right to the standard OEM openings. These right here also bolt on to the standard OEM. And let's get to the structure. Oh, vintage air controller, vintage air AC vent, standard steering column, and this is the structure here. A few key points I pointed out on the previous video. On this here, you see I cut 2 relief cuts. I cut about 1/4 inch from there to there and brought it down to the very corner of this structure here. So I cut a little triangle off, and then I hammered it in, and I'll show you why once I put that on there. Again, it's not needed, but it's just a much better fit. These, I wind them just a tad on the ovals there, just to give you more adjustability this way and that way. What else? This are the weld nuts that I'll be shipping you guys. What these do, GM original dash, the left side is smaller than the right. Now that one, being that's the same across, I'm gonna have a gap over here on this side between the dash and the structure. So this is what I use, these guys. So these, you can kind of either push them in there as much as you want, flush, or drill a 1/4 inch hole and play with it and tack them and you're good to go. On the driver's side, they're gonna be flush because it's on there the way it should be. You're gonna be right on it like this, tack them and you're ready to go. On these, you're gonna have about 1/2 inch or whatnot. That's one of the things there. On your padding, all the stock bolts are clear except for this one, because obviously there's the gauge clusters here. So I drill a hole and put a plug on it so you can access your mounting point for your padding. What are the key points here? I think those are the major ones. Let me finish this video and move on to the next one. Video number 2 on the install, the tips and tricks on how to install this Holley EFI unit onto your 69 Camaro. Your steering column piece, standard one from the factory. There's some tabs here, you gotta grind them off, as I did mine, to facilitate on the fitting for that. There, see how that sits nice now. Anyhow, I cut my ears off a little bit just because they look kind of funky leaving them really big. Anyway, so that's that. Standard sheet metal screws should go there. These don't have the hose yet. Now, getting back to these guys here, the retainers. This is how I'm going to ship it to you with some longer screws. This is the gap I was telling you about. So you see the structure, and here there's a gap. You don't want to over tighten it because then you're gonna start cracking welds and whatnot. So these, you can adjust them up to there and tack weld them here in the front. So you can really, you know, tighten them up nice and tight. This side over here, you will not need any. I mean, it's tight. Again, reason why GM makes this side smaller than the right side. So that one's a lot smaller and this one is not. It's straight across the board here. It's smaller in distance from there to there, but not smaller this way. Anyhow, another reason why I asked or said on the structure to put those relief cuts there, and you kind of push it in. Now you see how tight of a fit it is there. Like I said, you can get away without doing it, but it's such a better fit this way. And that's how that fits. And even look at here, look how tight that is in there. So I mean, it's a tight fit all the way across, and nice and the way it's supposed to be. But that's the reason for that. And if you don't do that, if you don't want to do that, this is going to be kicked out just a tad. You know, being this aluminum, it's flexible, so you can see it. I'm not even going a whole lot, it's flexing. So anyhow, this is 16 gauge aluminum 3003, so it's pretty sturdy. But if you needed to make some adjustments, like here or there, whatnot, very easily be doable. Again, this thing should fit right on there, zero modifications. But I'm just making a few tips and tricks video just in case it does not, because not every car is exactly the same, being that they're 69 Camaros and they have about a ton of adjustability everywhere. What else? So we covered this, we covered the retainers. I'm gonna probably, but other than that, that should do it. Now if you're using your you can't use your standard 69 Camaro dash pad. You're gonna have that hump sticking out, reupholstered one out. On the 69 Nova dash pad, you need to work these corners out a little bit on the wrinkles here and there, and obviously on the A-pillars coming down on both ends. Other than that, it's a straight shot. It bolts onto your standard mounting screws. On the 1/4 inch 20 retainers here, I come through the AC, very easily reachable. If you don't have an AC, you could always go through the glove compartment. It's a stretch, but it's doable because I've done it. You may not even need them, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. What I like is that those screws bring this flush very nice. This I still have to work a little bit because I put a lot of heat on there and there. You can see a little bit of a mark, but you can't feel it. You can see it because of the reflection, but it's hardly noticeable. Anyhow, there's a lot of distortion going on there. So, but I get it as nice as possible. And with those retainers, it just really brings it in and sucks it in and makes it a nice install. Other than that, I think that'll do it. And this is the way it fits. This unit is obviously not finished yet. I still have the brackets that go behind here that hold the EFI unit that I have to weld on there. I gotta make these holes there, but general idea. This is where it's at. This is how it goes. And again, you see the curvature. I hope you can see it on the video, but it curves this way, just like the original one. So it's not just one ugly flat screen. It's got a lot of contour to it, and I think it just looks badass. Okay, so third video. This thing's installed already. So you can see it's on there. Got those guys that adjust this way and that way. The retainers are in. I installed the collar for the steering column. So you can see how it flows through there. Looks pretty good. I like the way this goes up here and it just goes down and whatnot, and it kind of splits that way. So it's kind of cool. Anyhow, this piece that I showed you about, Let me show you the back. Oh, so you see this here, nice and flush, just the way it's supposed to be. So you get a nice, obviously you have to not tighten those up, but nice and snug would do. Same thing with the rest of it. You can see that area that I was pointing out on the last video. My phone does not focus, come on. There you go. That area there, that's the reason for it. See, it's very tight all around, so you don't have a whole lot of playroom. Now, with the Holley EFI unit, if you happen to bend this brackets around, the tolerance on that is like nothing, as you can see here. I don't know if I can focus in enough here with this phone. There you go. I'm talking about it's like a perfect fit. If you mess with this even just a tad, you're gonna need to make those holes a little wider. I have them to the point where they fit or they don't fit. Don't ask me why, I just like to do things that way. Anyhow, that's another pointer on there. Other than that, this is the back of it. So you got plenty of room for the rest of your stuff here. And that I will say it looks good from the back, just as good as it does from the front. So there it is. I think I covered all the bases on the install. If anything else, just give me a call. Okay, quick video of the Holley EFI on the 69 Camaro. Installed this in a matter of 5 minutes. 0 modifications needed. Bolt right up to stock locations, there, and the studs that I showed you guys in the past. Well, where the hell are they? Right there. Check out the clearances, the steering column. That thing is on point. Right there. It's got a very slight rub there, on the stock kick panel. Very, very minor. There's the fitment on the other side. That could be massaged a little bit if really needed to be, but I would just leave it alone. But overall, it's just such a perfect fit. Don't get better than that. Truly bolt on, screw on, or whatever you want to call it. 0 modifications again. If you were to put a straight edge across there, it definitely clears that whole center bulk there.